Greetings, LunaticZoid here, and today I'm here with 3 special guests. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
Hello, my name is BlastBox of the YouTube channel BlastBox, where I talk about a lot of Smash and occasionally some things that aren't Smash.
And I'm ObeseROB. You've probably heard me on this channel a couple times before. I do YouTube as well, and I'm pretty long time advocate for Store for Smash.
And I'm Ink from the channel InkThinks, and I cover Smash news and Nintendo stuff.
Nice. All these guys are, great people, great content, so you guys should check them out. Anyways, Min Min got released, so that's pretty nice, right? A pretty interesting character.
I had no idea who they were going to announce. I was really surprised.
Well, one thing's for sure, her inclusion is pretty big, right? Not only do we have a dedicated female fighter slot, we also broke that stupid fan rule.
The one where people with long arms can't get in?
Spirits do not deconfirm characters. I've already said this numerous times before. What do you mean that one? That's the one rule I hated. Quote unquote rule.
Yes, so with that, if this official list is accurate, that now opens the door for about 1,420 characters that some people previously thought were impossible.
Nice, I like that number.
Yeah, we should name every single one. So first is Mario. I don't think he's got a chance.
Next is not Porky from Earthbound. Somehow he's not in there.
Somehow, yes. Silux as well.
Oof, Silux. I hope.
You know who also is missing? Poochie.
Yeah.
Now we're just naming spirits that aren't even spirits.
We immediately get off topic. It's a video about spirits, and we jump right to the characters that aren't even spirits yet.
Alright, just to kick off this topic, I decided like, hey, let's have 3 spirit picks of our own on who we think will get in, who we think will get upgraded as a DLC fighter, and 1 pick of our own that we really, really, really want, even though, I don't know. I wouldn't say it wouldn't happen. I mean, you never know. So
never say never.
Yeah. So I guess I'll have to start it off.
All right.
So I think the most likely spirit that will get upgraded as a fighter will have to be Rayman. I feel like.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Rayman should be like the most should be like Nintendo's priority in terms of like a third-party character. They have a really good relationship, right?
Yeah,
super
I'd
good.
say
Seems
after
like
a couple of crossovers.
Yeah, the Rabbids, right? So
Mario and Rabbids was a pretty big hit early on in the Switch. That did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly just got it like last week because it was $20.
Nice. Yeah, it's solid. It's really solid.
So
I haven't played it, but I've heard it's like, what if Fire Emblem had rabbits?
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like a Paper Mario and Luigi type take on the tactical RPG genre. It's very similar in spirit. It's great.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, sorry.
Do you think that getting the Ubisoft Mii costumes impacts Rayman in any way?
Like,
And his chances of getting into Smash? Since we already got a Rabbid costume, do you think that helps Rayman because it shows the relationship, or does it hurt him because they already worked with Ubisoft before? So why are they going to go back for Rayman? Where do you kind of fall on that?
I would say because they added the Rabbids Mii costume and Altair, I feel like it does help his chances a little bit more. Simply because, I mean, you could argue that Rayman's like Ubisoft's mascot, and they still haven't put him in as a Mii costume, but I don't think no one wants that. He's a spirit, but I don't think that's enough, right? So I'm thinking like, I mean, I wouldn't say he's that iconic, but he's enough to get people excited for, right? I mean,
he's definitely more iconic than a lot of the picks that we've had so far. I'd say he's more iconic than Terry or other characters that might not be the most notable outside of their niche. But I don't know. I'm kind of the mindset that whether it's a Mii costume or a spirit or anything like that, it doesn't really affect the chances unless Nintendo comes out and says it. We don't necessarily know how they make their decisions, And just because they work with someone before doesn't mean that they're not going to go back, probably. And also, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo is just too hard to predict.
Yeah, exactly.
Certainly. So, I don't mean to be devil's advocate here. I think Rayman can come as well. I just want your takes on these things. But the last thing I want to bring up with this is, do you think Rayman's reported poor sales history in Japan means anything here?
I actually want to say something about that. There's never been any official reports of Rayman sales in Japan. We don't have any clue how well he sells or if he doesn't sell well at all.
I guess that's a good point. Also,
we don't have any clue or any official report.
No official report.
Yeah, we've gotten numbers on shipments and like first week sales, but we've never gotten like, this is how much Rayman Legends sold on Wii U definitively. Any clue we've gotten has been negative, but they're not super definitive. So that's why I bring it up.
Yeah. Did Banjo sell well in Japan? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, he did.
Pretty well, yeah.
Alright.
Definitely
Probably
more of a Western character,
guitars.
but he didn't bomb in Japan at all.
Alright, cool. Well, Well, if it's like, well, if there's like no report on the sales, I think I'll still have to say Rayman will be my most likely spirit pick. In terms of like all the spirits already in the game, I think Rayman has the highest chance for me.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, who wants to go next?
So I have. Oh yeah, you go. You go.
Okay, I'll go. So next up for me, I was thinking that the champions from Legend of Zelda actually have a pretty solid chance with Breath of the Wild 2 coming out soon. I'm not exactly sure if they would all be coordinated into a fighter or if they'll choose their favorite, kind of like how they did with Min Min. But I could definitely see them getting in some sort of representation to represent Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, certainly. Do you have one that you can sort of point to if they're only going to pick one?
That's tough. I would say maybe Rivali out of all of them.
Oh, Falco.
Rivali or Mipha. The reasoning behind that is Darunia. Not Darunia. See, this proves my issue. The Goron is pretty similar to the other Gorons that they've had as far as appearance, doesn't necessarily stand out a ton. And Urbosa, I think, is really cool, but just isn't super unique in her design in the sense that it really kind of captures a ton of interest, at least to me. Whereas if you have Rivali or Mipha, I think that they're a lot more distinctly Nintendo, and I think a bit more easily recognizable.
I'm surprised you didn't pick.
on that.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Impa.
Yeah.
That is true.
Dang it, let me write my list.
So, well, maybe this can help you with that decision here. If the champions have zero role in Breath of the Wild 2, does your opinion change at all?
I would say so, actually. Yeah. I think they're going to do something to promote Breath of the Wild 2, if they do something from Zelda. And I would be stoked if it was the champions. I would be even more stoked if it was Impa. But if the champions aren't represented that way, I would imagine that they would change it up a little bit. I don't know exactly what that would look like, though. Maybe it would be Beetle.
Oh my gosh, yes, please. So, if I actually was looking at the Zelda list myself, so I was originally going to say that. Oh, 1 second.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought a maintenance guy was here, but it was just a package delivery.
Nice.
So,
Special
sorry
delivery.
for the extra. Sorry for the extra editing you have to do there.
Nah, it's
It's all
fine.
good. So you were saying Super Mushroom?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
poison mushroom first and
Oh,
foremost. I was trying to find a first-party Nintendo Legacy character that I thought would have a bit of a chance for my number 3 spot. I looked at Zelda. I thought about Skull Kid or Tingle and the champions, but I actually didn't end up on Zelda like I thought I would. I kept scrolling down, and if I had to pick a Legacy Nintendo character that has the best shot of being upgraded, I actually landed on Waddle Dee. And the reason I believe that, as someone who is, and Waddle Dee, Bandana Dee, however you want to label him, Kirby has had a tremendous upswing this generation with his 3DS games, and Waddle Dee has been front and center for all of that. So while he is a legacy Nintendo character, he's one of the few legacy characters that people talk about that I think is on a bit of an upward trend. I would also throw Waluigi in that crew, but I don't think I should be the one to talk about Waluigi if he's going to be brought up in this discussion. I love Dixie Kong. I might talk about her later, but Donkey Kong is not at its peak right now. So if they're going to pull a first-party character that is kind of at the height of their power, I think Kirby's a great pick, and Waddle Dee is hugely requested first-party character right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say so. In terms of first-party, yeah.
I like that he has a spear. I think that's so cool.
A spear.
Yeah, I think he's unique and well requested. And something tells me that the creator of Smash likes him all right. But something that I've wondered before is if series popularity, at least at the current moment, is relevant when they're deciding characters. We've seen characters that have definitely been chosen for legacy, like Rob, but we've also seen characters that have been almost promotional, kind of like Byleth coming out before Three Houses, or Marth coming out, or Roy coming out before his game in Melee, or Marth coming out in Melee to kind of promote Fire Emblem. Lots of Fire Emblem, actually.
Yeah, and Byleth was chosen before Three Houses came out, but he did come out after the game had released.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So clean that up.
Gotta love that.
My thing about Waddle Dee I wanted to bring up is he's almost more important outside of the games than he is in the games, because in the modern games, he's only really that important in the color, the Canvas Curse, as well as Return to Dreamland. Outside of that, he's really more of a cameo sort of thing. But in real life, there's like a Kirby cafe where if there's no one around, there'll be like Waddle Dees in the booths, like that sort of stuff. The other thing is, I don't know if Sakurai will ever put in Waddle Dee, because he said multiple times that he doesn't want his bias as the creator of Kirby to get in the way of adding characters. So he's specifically gone out of his way to not include any Kirby characters, as well as to make some of the Kirby characters not that good.
Yes, yeah, I do remember that point. And that is true. And that's always actually been my personal point against Bandana Dee when I talk about this. But we've seen Sakurai change his mind a lot in the past, and I don't think he'll necessarily change his mind here. But because he's changed his mind, I don't hold that definitively against Waddle Dee, although I do acknowledge it's against him.
I could see, I don't know, with that, Sakurai, at least from what we've seen of him in his public presentations, just seems so humble that I could see him totally being down to include him, but he probably wouldn't be the one to suggest it.
No, which, as we know, he's not suggesting the DLC this time, right?
No, he's not. It's Nintendo.
Kinda. He's at least sort of involved.
He like has to approve it, right? He doesn't make the suggestion, but he has to give it his seal of approval, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Like with ARMS, he approached the producer.
Yeah, there's a few like higher ups that have said Sakurai has full on decided the DLC, but Sakurai himself says that he's just there for approval, so it's really up in the air.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
That Sakurai seal of approval.
Yeah, all important. All right, so you got one for us, Rob?
Yeah, so I got a pick that I both love and hate at the same time for who I think is the most likely. Originally, I was going to say Rayman, but obviously that one's already taken. So, but I actually think that Gengar has a pretty solid shot if we were to go for...
Interesting.
I don't think a Gen 8 Pokemon would really work for, like, even if people often say promotional pick for that, but I think the Pokemon company is too focused on Gen 1 still. I mean, looking at the trailer for that MOBA, Pokemon Unite, it's very clear that 6 out of 8 of those Pokemon that you can play as were Kanto Pokemon. And Gengar has actually been seen quite a bit recently.
especially when you look at other modern Pokemon games like Pokken or spin-offs like that, you see a lot of Gen 1, including Gengar.
Yeah, Gengar's been pushed pretty heavily in the last couple years.
Absolutely.
No love for Cubone.
I mean,
Screw that guy.
So what is do you have like a thing that pulls you to Gengar above any other popular Gen 1 Pokemon or Gen 8 Pokemon?
mostly the fact that he's been getting a lot of appearances and forms, sort of like Charizard's been doing a lot lately. Like he was one of the first to get a Mega Evolution. He got a Gigantamax form. He, like Ink said, he was in Pokken. He's in Pokemon Unite. Even going back to Gen 5, he was getting a lot of major appearances. Like in Pokemon Conquest, he was one of the major bonds with one of the warlords.
I did not know that, actually. But can he brush my teeth?
You know, given he's a ghost, probably not, but I'd like to see him try.
You see, do you really think they would accept someone in Smash that doesn't have good oral hygiene? Have you really thought this through?
I mean, look at
I'd like
King
to
Rule.
insert Wario.
Wario. Especially Wario. All he eats is garlic.
I don't know what you're talking about, though, because Gengar has some pretty pearly whites that he likes to show off.
Indeed, he does. I mean, his shiny Mega Evolution is just one giant molar.
Exactly.
Alright, well, I guess on to my second pick. I just realized we went from oldest to youngest. I think that's pretty funny.
Oh, really?
I would
Oh,
not
I didn't know
pick
that.
up on that.
I guess
I'm surprised you know all of our ages.
I just
We went in descending order of social security as well, actually, which is really surprising.
Yeah, that's almost random.
I just remember that you guys are younger. That's it. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. Anyways, my second pick will have to be Geno. I mean, I obviously a lot of people talk about him. He's well known for not being in Smash at this point.
I feel like that's what he's best known for at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Best known for not being in Smash.
It's pretty much the only thing he's known for nowadays.
Now, I think he finally has a shot now. Now that spirits deconfirm. I'm dumb. Spirits don't deconfirm. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, people want him, right? I mean, not because he's not in Smash, right? Yeah, people want him because people like him in Super Mario RPG. At least I would hope. I would hope so.
Super cool. Like at least with his design, and I played a Project M mod with him in it that was also really cool. I'm just so emotionally exhausted from wanting Geno and then it not being him. It's like if you wake up on Christmas and go down and find out it's not Christmas every single time that they do a DLC release.
Well, but hey, Christmas always comes eventually, right?
That's true.
Yes,
Rob, I know
motto
you've
of
been
Banjo.
outspoken against Geno before, so what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Rob.
Oh, yeah, Geno, I don't know. I personally wouldn't exactly mind, but I also wouldn't exactly want him. When I played Super Mario RPG for the first time a couple months ago, Geno had a total of 5 minutes of screen time, so I don't get
5 minutes, really?
want for Geno.
No way.
Yeah, he's
It
not
can't be
that
5
important.
minutes. All right.
Yeah,
I know that he's not important, but I didn't think he's not. Wow. Okay.
Full
I mean,
disclosure,
he's a
I
party
haven't
member. He's a party member, so you could put him in, but I didn't. So the
What?
total amount of time I didn't put him in my party. I was just,
Just out of principle.
oh, this seems pretty fun.
Was Mal in your party at least?
For the starting bit, yeah.
All right. So you just
Mallow
went,
got more screen time.
just went with the core cast, huh?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I played Mario RPG ages ago and do not remember a whole lot about it. All my take on Geno is purely rooted in his presence in the Smash community. And he's not someone that would excite me personally, but if you are going to add a single character just for the sake of pleasing the hardcore audience, I can't say who it would be other than Geno. People associated him with Ridley and K. Rool as like the trifecta of wanted characters that were never getting in. And you gotta give Geno props for all these decades later. He is still wanted. He's topping popularity polls. So many characters since like the Brawl days, the pre-Brawl days have fallen off. Like you don't hear anyone talking about Ray or Chibi Robo. Isaac has even been slipping a little bit from what I've seen, but Geno has held on. And regardless of the actual merits of the character, that's something pretty special that Geno has that not many other characters do.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
that's definitely true. Oh, go for it, Lunatic.
Oh no, I was just gonna say yeah, I agree. I think, well, yeah, obviously I think like the biggest obstacle is Square Enix, right? Because I don't know, I feel like they're kind of like, I wouldn't say harsh, right? Because they did add Cloud, they did add Hero, but
I feel like anything about how Square Enix is as a business partner is purely speculation based off of what's been in Smash. And I think with deals like that, there's so many moving variables that it's hard to know.
Well, I hate to be that guy to say, well, actually, but I actually made a video on official statements from Sakurai and the team about how easy Square Enix actually was. Like, Square Enix was supposedly very easy to work with both times to get in. The only thing that's really pointing towards Square Enix being kind of rough to work with was Sakurai went to get Geno in Brawl, and then things fell through.
Yeah.
Which we have no reason why. We don't know why.
And that was the first time I actually heard of Geno back in Brawl, literally like in 2008. So that's crazy.
I feel like Geno has become his own reason for being popular. Like, he was a relatively obscure character who became talked about so much that people started talking about him because others were talking about him, and he's just kind of fed into his own popularity.
It's a singularity.
It's a crazy legacy that guy has. It's wholly unique. There's no other character with the Smash legacy that Geno has.
Now here's a big question. Do you think if he were to ever get in, you think people will finally stop talking about him? Like, oh, he's in there, but no one's gonna play as him.
I could see him losing a lot of popularity if he actually makes it in.
With the track record of Ultimate characters that were huge requests falling off instantly, I think it's a guarantee that no one's touching Geno after month 1.
Me personally, I would play him. I would main the character. I've known that guy since I was like 11.
Knowing Geno's based on like shooting, and he'll probably be a very campy character, which leads to a lot of player drop off, as we've seen from Banjo.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
Still want
imagine playing Banjo, Lunatic.
Shut up. Probably one of the last people to main Banjo.
Hey, take pride in that. Makes you special.
Yeah. All right, Blast Ink. No,
I think Ink is next.
Yeah, Ink.
Yeah. So as long as we're on the topic of fan-requested characters, I think I would be remiss to not bring up Waluigi with the nature of a lot of videos that I've had.
He couldn't help yourself, huh?
He's in some spin-off games, not super popular. I'm kidding. I think Waluigi, a big argument against him that I've heard. I'm actually working on a video right now about arguments against Waluigi, but a really big one I've heard is he's not relevant or he's not super popular. I was looking up the statistics of it earlier. Actually, Waluigi appears in just over 15% of Nintendo's top 50 best-selling games, which is crazy. Like, that really surprised me. And the games that he appears in tend to outsell a lot of the other cast members' games in Smash. So he's definitely getting exposure there. There's been a big groundswell of support for him, and I think as far as spirits go, as far as assist trophies go, I could definitely see him standing a pretty good chance.
All right.
End quote.
I mean, if he were to get an assist upgrade, probably Waluigi.
Yeah. It's literally the only character that probably deserves an upgrade.
Yeah. My one thing though is he's an assist trophy, and I know you probably get this comment all the time, but we actually do have official confirmation that assist trophies do deconfirm from Sakurai.
Yeah, back in
Are you talking about the Miiverse post?
Yeah, back in Smash 4, yeah.
Yeah, Smash 4 and Brawl. And given that we didn't get Springman, I think he's probably sticking with that. I don't know 100% though, so we'll see.
I do think out of every argument against Waluigi, that one's the most convincing for me. Going back to what BlastBox was saying earlier, we have seen him change his mind before, but that one did sound pretty definitive, at the very least for Smash 4, that was definitive. But also, nope, that entire train of thought is just gone. Never mind.
That's all good. It's all good. Me too.
That happens.
Yeah. That happens to me a whole bunch of times.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say the other point I could see working against Waluigi is actually one that I brought up in my Waluigi video I did a while back, which is I think I could definitely see Waluigi not being in Smash as like an internal meme at Nintendo at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, both times that Sakurai said no assist trophies were on posts about Waluigi. So
You know, I don't think this is a point for or against Waluigi, but do any of you remember when Reggie like specifically addressed Waluigi? Do you remember what he said about him?
yeah, he said Nintendo recognizes how popular Waluigi really is.
Okay, well, that sounds cool. That must have been why Reggie left, because he was so disappointed in their inability to support the Waluigi fan base.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, Reggie was the
Mother
one
3.
sending hate to Sakurai, actually.
All I gotta say is that if they ever add Waluigi, I will main him if he has like a Mario Party moveset. Hands down, I'll main him.
That's the thing with Waluigi. There's so much potential depending on what you want to pull from.
Yeah. Literally,
Yeah,
my first exposure to the character was in Mario Party 3, so yeah. And I
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
made
nice.
him back then just because like, oh, it's like a new Mario brother character that I literally know nothing about, but he's cool. He's cool looking.
That's kind of where we still are with the character. We don't know much about him, but he's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Mario Power Tennis opening?
Is that the one
I
where he like
haven't.
draws on Luigi with marker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The intro is amazing.
Yeah, dude's got a nice lean build. Gotta respect him for that.
Looks anorexic.
Oh man.
Anyway, that's all I had to say about Waluigi.
Alright. Thank you, Ink.
All right, so I'm gonna sword cheat here. Gotta talk about two spirits here, and this is both a prediction, but it is also one of, if not my most wanted spirits. I had to bring it to my home turf eventually and talk about the Xenoblade spirits. Of course, that is either Rex or, less likely, but I still want to talk about her, Elma. So to break it down a little bit, Elma from Xenoblade Chronicles X, one of my favorite games ever. Elma would be my preferred character, dual-wielding swordsman and gunner. First, dedicated black female character would be super cool. Unfortunately, Nintendo has completely forgotten that they ever made a game called Xenoblade Chronicles X. So instead, we'll talk about Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, who, very similar to the ARMS situation, came out at a really bad time for Smash. And even though it's a game that Sakurai himself loves, the timing just wouldn't have worked out for Rex to come to Smash. Of course, DLC could provide an opportunity to rectify that. We had a bit of a situation, if you even want to call it that, with Pyra's voice actress recently. I don't know if you want to actually draw any conclusions from what was said, but maybe it hurts Rex's chances of coming soon. Maybe it doesn't. But either way, if you're talking about modern Nintendo characters, I think Rex has to be brought up in that discussion somewhere.
I think Rex is a shoo-in, honestly. He was on my list as well. I think he's
I
really-
like your way of thinking, Ink. This is why I like you.
I think especially with ARMS being included, Xenoblade was a pretty big release at the time, or at least pretty widely talked about. I don't know how it did with sales, but I would not be surprised in the least. And I'd say Rex would probably make at least my top 5 prediction.
I also think he's a guarantee. After ARMS, I feel like they're just going to add characters that they couldn't add before due to time constraints. So they're like, well, here you go. Here's Rex. Sorry to keep you waiting. But it's all
Well,
good,
I
right?
love seeing the optimism from you two. You have more optimism for him than I do. Just so we're all on the same page. Xenoblade 2, sales-wise, was a huge hit for the series. It sold over double the previous entries, but still, I think it landed at about 1.3 million after its first few months and hasn't gone much up since. By comparison, ARMS sold over 2 million. So Xenoblade was a success, but you got to keep it in perspective with everything else for how much of a success it was.
Which goes back to the question of how much sales figures actually influence the picks.
Certainly, yes.
I like the optimism for Rex, and I think Rex is a really cool character, but I guess I'll have to be the downer in this situation. So my one thing about Rex, other than this, I think he's pretty likely. Why would they make him a fighter after they sort of made him a DLC costume that was a bonus for the first pass? Like, I don't think costume is deconfirmed necessarily, but that would kind of devalue the sort of value of the pass. Like the first pass, having the bonus turned into a full fighter isn't exactly a smart business move.
I do think that's valid, absolutely. But if I can sort of come at that from an angle that might support Rex a little bit, although I maybe don't believe it definitively, is that if you believe Sakurai and Nintendo, they were just planning on Fighters Pass 1 and then we're on a wait and see for Fighters Pass 2. So maybe that was just their way of getting Rex in the game in some way. And once they got the green light that they were in fact going to get to make more content, now they can seize the opportunity to bring him in as a full fighter like they wanted. That's just speculation, a guess, but I think that is a possibility.
And that's what I'd speculate as well, which is I would imagine that Mii fighter costumes take way less time than a character, especially because the Mii fighters are already balanced. You kind of just got to put the skin on it, as far as I would guess. So I could kind of see it being pretty much the exact situation that BlastBox says. But I could also potentially see that working against him.
Yeah. I got nothing to say. I think you guys kind of you brought up all these. You guys nailed it. Basically,
it's a pretty cut and dry discussion. If you're talking about modern era Nintendo protagonists to bring to Smash, who are you going to talk about besides Rex at this point? Now that we have ARMS and Three Houses in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why not? We need more Xenoblade reps. Am I right?
Nah, man, I think they're good at one.
Okay, never mind then. I forget what I said.
It's I mean, they're just Fire Emblem characters with fiery swords. I mean, how many more of those do we need? So are we on to Rob then, and his second choice?
Rob.
All right. So for my second pick, I'm gonna go with the Mario character as well, like Ink is. King Boo.
King Boo.
Yeah, King Boo.
No love for Koopa Troopa?
Nope, King Boo all the way.
Nice.
Ah, man.
What's interesting about King Boo is Luigi's Mansion 3 pretty recently came out, and we didn't get a Spirit event for that. And it's strange because normally when we get a new Nintendo game, we get a Spirit event. The only exception being Three Houses, which got a fighter. And given this is Mario's 35th anniversary, we might be getting a Mario character, and a Mario character without a Spirit is King Boo.
I could definitely see King Boo. I think he's pretty prominent. He's in a lot of...
Wait a minute. It's Mario without a Spirit. We're talking about spirits here.
Yeah, I meant without a Spirit event is what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Without a Spirit event.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you, Ian. Continue.
Rob is going rogue.
Yeah.
No, I could see King Boo, and I'm totally sold on the idea now, because I just thought of the possibility of his grab just be him possessing who's ever in front of them, which just sounds awesome to me. But I mean, he's in a lot of the party games. He's in some of the kart games. I could he's prominent enough. He's more prominent than Piranha Plant, I would say.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I actually heard a good bit of King Boo discussion in the Fighters Pass 1 days. Back when people heard that Nintendo was making the picks, and it's like, oh man, it's just gonna be super corporate decisions, picking their own to promote their own games. People threw King Boo around. But yeah, I think he is kind of a sleeper pick for the Mario franchise that doesn't get brought up as much as he should. Luigi's Mansion 3 hit really hard. That game sold a lot better than I would have guessed.
Yeah. still have yet to play that game. I probably should get on that.
Me either. I've only played the original.
I haven't even played the original. Just a demo version at McDonald's. That's about it.
If King Boo made it, what stage would he bring? Would he just bring like the hotel from 3?
Yeah, I think either that or like sort of like a Luigi's Mansion 2 sort of stage where it's in like a different sort of take on the mansion, because there's multiple mansions in the series. Luigi's Mansion 2 specifically would note that maybe have like a dedicated room in the mansion or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could also see him having a reimagined Super Mario Underground stage.
Super Mario Underground.
Yeah, like in the Super Mario games, how when you go underground, there were King Boo that would chase you around.
Oh,
I guess I was just regular Boos. I'm a Boo racist, man.
Yeah.
Yo, can we get the roulette wheel from Mario Sunshine? That's the King Boo stage that I think is most iconic.
That
personally.
weird
man,
looking,
that would actually be
weird looking
amazing.
King Boo.
That'd
yeah.
be pretty fun.
Ooh, tie into the Sunshine HD re-release. This is perfect. The stars are aligning for King Boo here.
Maybe
Mario's
maybe one of
35th
his
anniversary.
maybe one of his moves can be the chili pepper you use.
Dude, that's the gimmick of the stage. You just chili peppers fall on you and you get instant curry.
I'm all for it because we get another Sunshine stage, and I love Sunshine, one of my favorite Mario games and one of my favorite games of all time. So
Heck
yes, I agree. Let's get that on there right now. Let's ask Sakurai right here, right now. I'm gonna go tweet him.
I think all of us became much bigger King Boo fans than we were when this conversation started.
That is
You're welcome.
true.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a Mario
Nice.
character, and I love Mario characters, so add him in.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, solid pick, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, so should we just go through real fast, talk about our most wanted character and not necessarily the most suspected?
Yeah, screw
Yeah.
it. Screw it. We'll just do most wanted. Alright, I'll go first. My most wanted, I'm pretty sure you guys know, except for BlastBox, it's Excitebike.
Oh, I did not know
The
that.
bias is through the roof here. Yeah, I love Excitebike. I grew up with it. I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know the plug and play consoles. I had like the little controller with 100 games in one. And
Yeah.
Excitebike was in there, and man, I don't know why I love that game so much. I just love it. It's just a fun game to mess around with.
It's a pure classic.
Yeah, and then
It's an absolute classic.
then you curate your own tracks, which is, I mean, it's not that great, but it's there. It was a cool feature. And
Now, isn't Excitebike music on the Mario Kart stage? So is this going to be considered a Mario spin-off character?
So yeah, well, it's a good thing it's a pick that I really want and not one I'm expecting, but I don't know. I don't know if they want to remix it. I don't know how you can do that. Another remix of that, but yeah, yeah, there's literally nothing to pull off from that in terms of like a soundtrack, a music collection. There's really nothing you can do about that. What you can do is
you could pull in.
how unique his moveset would be.
I mean, you could pull in music from like Excite Trucks and other Excite games, sort of like that.
I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Excitebike 64 probably had a bigger OST.
I have not even played that.
No one has. Literally no one has.
But yeah, and then like the fact that Sakurai did say that Excitebike was considered in Melee, but they added the Ice Climbers instead. I'm like, man, I was so close. But
Dang.
I guess, I don't know, I forgot what he said. He said something about incorporating ramps. He couldn't do it or something like that. I don't know.
I'm sorry, no disrespect to Nana and Popo. I'm so glad they made it back for Ultimate, but if you remove like the Smash legacy from Ice Climbers and go back to the Melee development times, that would have felt like such a downgrade to rep it from repping Excitebike to have to go down to Ice Climbers for your character.
Which sucks.
So yeah, Sakurai. Oh, go ahead.
Which sucks is like literally Excitebike is like one of the retro games people actually know about besides Duck Hunt and Ice Climbers, I guess.
Absolutely. It might be. It's probably maybe battling against Ninja Gaiden for like the NES game, the most classic NES game that we need a character of in Smash. I don't know which one would win out in that fight, but since Excitebike is first party, that's definitely an edge in its favor.
Yeah. What you were saying, Rob, I looked it up. Sakurai said he was having trouble finding a proper jump mechanic for him, so he ended up being relegated to a trophy.
Damn it! Just hearing that makes me sad. We were this close to getting him.
He was quoted as saying, "Screw you, lunatic." I don't know what that meant in 2001, but
Well, screw you too, Sakurai.
Man. Sakurai with the foresight.
yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, should I go on to my most wanted?
yes, get right to it.
All right, yeah. This probably won't be a surprise to most of you, but Impa. I think that she's been very prominent in pretty much every Zelda game. I'm a huge Zelda fan. I would prefer the young, athletic Impa as opposed to the old granny Impa who looks like she's about to fall apart. But you know, I'll take anything at this point.
I'll take the Granny Impa. I think that'll be funny.
That's a pretty sick hat she's got. I would love to see how that animates.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She throws it like a throwing star. That'd be great.
All right, is that all we have for Impa?
That's all I have to say about Impa. I'm just excited about her.
That would be too.
Impa's pretty simple character.
She brings some pretty awesome weapons for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll carry on to mine then. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think up to this point we haven't really highlighted a spirit that comes from a spirit event yet. And at least in my personal opinion, of course, nothing deconfirms hard, but I think event spirits are less likely than your standard base game spirits. So this is only one I would bring up in the context of a want, but Astral Chain Hero, right up there with Rex, like a modern Switch protagonist from a Switch game I adore that I would love to see in Smash. Astral Chain was so slept on when it was released. That's a great action game for the Switch. And probably top 3, if not the number 1 most interesting moveset potential that I would love to see how Sakurai would adapt. Not to mention the aesthetic and the music that would come with him. I can't decide between Rex or Astral Chain Hero which modern Nintendo protagonist I want the most, but would love either one.
Heck yeah, I can't wait for Astro Chain Hero.
That is the worst thing about them is their name.
It's another Platinum Games character, so that's pretty cool. Even though they're still first party.
Yeah, it's Bayonetta's our only Platinum character right now, right?
Yeah, although technically Bayonetta is owned by Sega, so Sega and
that
Nintendo
is the thing with
somehow.
Platinum. It's like, Bayonetta's awesome. That's kind of a Sega character. Astral Chain Hero would be cool. That's also a Nintendo character. I really want to be not a Spirit, but it's a Square character. It's Platinum's really muddy in this regard, but Astral Chain Hero makes it nice and simple being with Nintendo.
Yeah, actually, something interesting is Platinum Games actually just bought the rights to Wonderful 101, so now they fully own Wonderful 101.
Good for them. I'm happy to hear that.
Wonder Red. Who knows?
Maybe.
I wouldn't hate that. Not quite up to Astral Chain Hero or even 2B levels for me, but I guess really any Platinum character I'm down for. Platinum's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, not
not
a Star Fox Zero character. I'll draw the line there.
To bring that up.
No Slippy, no Leon.
No, if you're gonna give me one, it's got to be Slippy's uncle, and he can never get up from his chair.
Wow, well that's pretty anticlimactic there.
I am all right. Formal apologies to Astral Chain for ending my segment on you talking about Slippy's uncle. I'll do better in the future.
All right, Rob.
All right.
You want to go?
Yeah, so I got kind of stuck here for 2 characters. One of them is a first party, one of them is a third party. But I guess I'll go with the third party, Shantae.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely shocked none of us brought her up. And
were any of you guys gonna bring her up if we were gonna stick with her? No.
Nope. Not a
I
character for
probably
me.
would have brought her up for the third pick, but I also really want her, so I'm good with being my wanted pick.
Nice.
I've been a big fan of Shantae for a while. I own all of her games. I'm still waiting on Limited Runs games to send me my physical edition of Seven Sirens, but Shantae is just amazing. She has the legacy that Nintendo she is such a big Nintendo character while being owned by WayForward. It's insane.
Yeah.
She's got probably more than any indie coming to my mind. She definitely wins out on the Nintendo Association front.
Yeah, she's been around since the early 2000s too on the Game Boy Color, right? So
Yeah.
I figure if I think if any indie character were to get in as a playable character, I think it has to be Shantae at this point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you sort out what your own fan rules are, whatever you choose to believe in. It's like, and you think of the big indies, it's, all right, we got Banjo, so they're not really looking for Steve if you count him as an indie pick. Sans and Cuphead just got in his Mii costume, so they're probably not going to be playable. Shovel Knight's an assist trophy, which is an even bigger gray area than Spirits were. And when you, like, Shantae has dodged so many bullets that have caught other indie characters that it's like she's just standing in a field of indie character corpses. And she's the only one left alive to potentially, maybe, get an invitation to be a full playable character in Smash.
One of the main reasons I want Shantae is her voice actress, Christina V. She's possibly my favorite voice actor of all time. She's in so many things that I absolutely love her, and she's just in everything I love. She's Shantae, she's in Power Rangers,
then that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. She has like this JoJo tattoo. It's everything.
Oh, that even makes
She's
more
awesome.
perfect sense.
I know, right?
Wow. So what will be the screamometer if Shantae were to get in?
Probably higher than my Terry reaction, which I screamed so loud that I broke the recording.
Oh man.
Well, that wow, what a reaction that would have been then.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, okay, yeah, you go if you're sorry about that.
no, I was just saying, yeah, that's my pick.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. I don't know if you guys want to like say your third pick like real quick, just all last minute.
Well, I already did, so.
Oh, it was Shantae?
Ness's father.
Yes, Shantae.
Ness's
The
father?
telephone Ness's father.
Yes.
Chorus.
That was actually my
I want
pick
the
as well.
chorus kid. Screw it. I literally know nothing about Rhythm Heaven, but people have been speculating since Smash 4, so why not?
Gamatsu can still be right, guys. There's still time. We can prove him right.
It's potential.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for stopping by. It was really fun, really interesting discussion we have here, especially with Rob. I didn't even know he loved Shantae that much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they said.
All right, guys. Until next time, see you in the next video.